that you are all hoping that this is going to be a magical season for men's basketball after a great end of the 2021-2022 campaign where BC won 3 games in the ACC turn, 2 games in the ACC tournament, and almost won a third, especially when they weren't predicted to win any. They beat Wake Forest, they beat Pitt. It was a really good end of the season. And now they bring in 4 highly recruited freshmen, Chaz Kelly, DJ Hand, Armani Mighty, and Prince Aligbe. And then Mason Madsen, who you see in your picture up there, is a 35% three-point shooter from Cincinnati, who should give BC the ability to stretch the floor a little bit, something they did not have at all last year. Now, BC opens their season tonight against Cornell. This is a game, BC starts the season like most basketball teams do with a couple cream puffs to start it off. And BC has no history against Cornell. I saw the notes given out by BC's sports information department. They haven't played Cornell since the 1960s, and they're 3-0 against this team. Now, BC will have be a little short staffed in this game, or short. Their bench is going to be a little bit shorter. On Friday during their press conference, Earl Grant said that Quinten Post is going to be out for this game. Center Quinten Post, and he has a injury on his foot. He's been practicing with the team, Earl Grant says, but he doesn't want to push him. And that makes sense. Like if you're playing a team, and I think Ken Palm has Cornell in the 300s, you can sit Quinten Post, especially when you have a deeper bench, which is what Earl Grant's saying. Like you got enough guys out there that can fill his role. So expect BC to go with smaller ball in this game because they don't really have a deep bench at the center position. If they're going to go with typical 5s, it's Post, it's Armani Mighty, and then you're going to have to kind of get a little bit creative after that. Maybe put TJ Bickerstaff at the 5, or play a couple, add another guard or forward or wing out there to fill that spot. So Post is out. The other injury, and we'll have to wait and see what's going on here, is that DeMarr Langford, their star forward guard, is day-to-day. I almost said out. He's not out yet. Day-to-day with an ankle injury. He's been practicing as well, but he missed. It sounds like he missed their last 2 scrimmages because of his ankle injury, and we're not sure if Grant was not committal if he's going to play or not. Again, if it's to give him some rest and get him ready for some of the bigger games, you absolutely rest DeMarr Langford. Okay, so there's a couple injuries there that you need to watch for, but as Grant said in his press conference, what he drove home is that this is a deeper team than BC's had in a long time. That they have guys that they feel can go out there and produce big minutes. He rattled off, Chaz Kelly in their scrimmage had like 12 points and like 6 assists. So he sounds like he's ready. DJ Hand, another scorer off the bench. And I'm telling you right now, Prince Aligbe is, I mentioned it on last week's episode, is probably going to be a starter this year. So you got a couple guys that are ready to go out there and play. And I think that's fine. That's great because you can manage these injuries. You don't need to go out there and push Quinten Post because you have no one else out there to play. You can get him his rest, get him to heal, and get him ready for those bigger games because you're going to need Quinten Post when you get to ACC play, when you get to Villanova, URI, some of these, the multi-team tournament in the Virgin Islands. You want him then. You don't need him against Cornell and some of these earlier games. So I think BC is in a good spot there. Now, as I said, it's a 12.5 point spread for this game. And it'll be interesting to see how BC comes out because, last year they did play, they were still only 13-20 on the season. They had those 2 wins in the ACC tournament, but you're going to have to show us. You have to show us that they're a good team. And I know that they won most of their out of conference games last year when they played these types of teams, other than Albany, which we're not going to talk about. But go out there and this is a team that needs to dominate these types of games. Honestly, this is a game where you want to see you want to see the freshmen get out there because and get major minutes, because you don't want your starters out there risking injuries against teams like Cornell. So hopefully BC's able to kind of just step on the throttle, put this game away early, and get DJ Hand, get Chaz Kelly, let Armani Mighty, play a little bit, and hopefully that'll get them their win. But I have to say, this is the first time probably since the year of Kai Bowman and Jerome Robinson, the year that they made the NIT, that there's been any buzz about this program. The basketball team seems to have a palpable buzz, to steal the term of John Rothstein. And I think that's exciting. And we're going to continue talking about them throughout the season. And I'll be doing recaps. I'll be talking about the big moments of the games. Believe me, you can find that all here on Locked On BC, and I hope you check that out. Now, we're doing this live on YouTube, and hopefully you've hit that subscribe button already. If not, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit our 600th subscriber, and we're hoping that you will be that person to do that. Now, we've had some comments as the show goes on, and we'll wrap up our show with these comments. Thomas Edson says, "What have you heard about Mahogany in the portal?" I've heard nothing, and I have to say, there's a group of people out there that love to just throw out things and make, rumors. I saw the BCI guys are saying it, and that's fine. They can say whatever they want. I am a credentialed media member, and I can't just deal in rumors. If I go and ask Christian Mahogany, I could get in trouble with BC. There's certain things I have to do in order to keep my credentials. So I have to be careful about that. Could he join the portal? Absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me. But I also wonder too, this is a guy that just tore his ACL, and he's a captain on this team, and has been a captain and traveling with this team. I've seen him at a bunch of different games throughout the year. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, it could happen. I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know. And that's kind of where I'm going to go with that. And finally, the onside kick was a bad decision. I'm not a big fan that they kicked it right in the air, but they had to, the season's so gone, Daniel, that I don't know. I just thought it was an option to try, and they tried it. Well, thank you all for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to recap BC Cornell, start to prepare for this weekend's game against NC State, where they're 17.5-point underdogs. Whew, that's ugly. But you'll see why when we get into it this week, and we'll talk about everything in between. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter at AJBlack_BC. Take care, everyone.